Well, good morning. It's Mark Lanier. You've made it to Friday, testing week. We've talked about the temptations of Jesus and how to overcome temptation, or at least steps that help us in our fight against temptation. And I thought I might end the week with a word of encouragement for those who are having difficulty and struggling and hitting those hard bumps in life that seem to test us and seem to shape us. And so I thought I'd go to the Old Testament prophet Zechariah. Now, he's what's called a minor prophet. That's not because he's less important. It's because his books aren't as long as his book isn't as long as the big prophets. So you've got big prophets like Jeremiah and Isaiah. You've got minor prophets like Zechariah and Amos and others. I love Zechariah. I love it because of his name itself. It comes from Zechar, is the Hebrew word for to take an action based upon what you've committed before, or what you remember. It's often translated memory. And Yah is the abbreviation for the name of God. So Zechariah's name itself is that God remembers. And he does. He remembers you. And when you're going through difficult times and you're going through struggles and you've got temptations, remember that God hasn't forgotten you. He's there with you. And so in the midst of this, Zechariah chapter 13 comes. And in Zechariah chapter 13, the word of the Lord is being spoken, and he's talking about how there'll be a bunch of people that just go off and they do their own thing, and that's the way of it. But 1/3 of the people in this passage, verse 9, of 1/3 of the people, God says, I will refine them. R-E-F-I-N-E. Refine them like refining silver. That silver, the way you refine it is you melt it. Get it really hot, and then you scrape off all the crud, the impurities from the top. I will refine them as refining silver. I will test them as testing of gold. God is at work within us to purify his people. And sometimes our purification comes from the difficulties and the struggles we have in our life. But God says those struggles and those difficulties aren't wasted. They're not just cause for crying and mourning. In the midst of all that we go through, the testing and the difficulties and the struggles, the burning even, the melting, God is at work trying to remove the impurities from your life and mine. This passage, I will refine them as refining silver, I'll test them as testing of gold, ends with a beautiful, beautiful assurance. It says, and those who've been refined, they shall call upon my name, and I will answer, and I will say, this is my people. And they in return shall say, the Lord is my God. I love that. I love the idea that out of this refining process, God is at work to shape us, to mold us, to create in us a character where he can say, this is my people. And where we will respond, the Lord is my God. So I don't know what you're going through, and I don't know what temptations have been your way this week, and I don't know where you've been successful by the power of God, and I don't know where you've fallen, but you're still forgiven by the same power of the same God and urged to get back up. And you need to know that whatever you're going through in this life, God is at work in you to make of you his people. And you can with joy proclaim, the Lord is my God. And all of the good he does, he gets all the glory. That's your video thought for the week, or video thought for the day that ends the week. And I'll see you again on Monday, God willing. Take care.